account for a much more complex and also, in this case, complicated way of the interaction between the elements. Another way is the complexities at work here is the dynamic relationship between the product and its users. And here, because that alone would be worth a 2-hour time slot to discuss this, but I'll just draw attention to the emergent properties here. The redefinition of concepts such as users, patients, and donors is very well illustrated by personal genomics, because people who are buying whole genome testing services, they're the users of the services, they are also the donors of the DNA that might later be sold to the pharmaceutical industry, that might be divulged to law enforcement agencies, which is actually written in the terms of services of those companies. And so in a way, for the first time, we have a situation where donors pay for being enrolled in research studies. It's also a blurring of the boundaries between experts and lay people, because a lot of the consumers of those companies know much more about SNPs than their GPs do. And some of them know more about SNPs than any person in the medical profession, apart from the people who are involved in the research do. And we were drawing attention to some of those issues in a commentary that we published recently, again together with colleagues such as Jenny Reed and Richard Hindmarsh and Trentin Lunshoff. This is one emergent property, as we would argue, of those complex interactions between the consumers and the service providers. So there was no clear trajectory of